Welcome to the Solution Prescribers podcast. My name is Moises. We're excited to have you here with us. Today, we're going to talk about the power of having meaningful testimonials. Now, we all know that testimonials are important. What's interesting as we visit with practices and shadow our teams is that they know they're doing a great job. They build such strong, meaningful connections with their patients and their clients. They know them by name. They know what they're going through. They've seen their progress, and together, patient and provider, they celebrate that success. So we hear great testimonials live, and that's why they continue to come back to you as the provider, as a clinic, as a spa. What's interesting is that sometimes we don't capture that in writing. We don't capture that in a testimonial. And let me pause that for a second. The importance of testimonials is because over 70% of customers look for a testimonial when they're making a decision. They look for proof. They look for evidence. It's that herd mentality, if you will, that we want to go where everybody else is going. That's giving them great results. That's why they say we're the largest, or we're the number one, or we're the most sought out, or we do so many procedures. It's that herd mentality that gives us that peace of mind of saying, I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't want to be the first one trying something out. The majority of people want to be able to go to somewhere that somebody else knows, or that there's some experience there that we trust. And so sometimes what we do as clinics is that we have 500 reviews, but they're not necessarily meaningful reviews. Maybe they're all 5-star reviews, which is great. But as I'm reading them, they're like, excellent, love it. I would go, refer to anybody. And it's like, okay, but what about that experience do you love? What about that experience was excellent? The great thing about our industry specifically is that we have the power of the before and after photos. The before and after photos are great for us because it's like evidence. Here's what they were before they did the treatment. Here's after they did the treatment. Look at the results, which is fantastic. And that's what people also look for, right? They look for those before and after pictures, that evidence that you can actually do the treatment. Not the before and after photos of the vendors, the before and after photos of you as a clinic. These were our patients. That way we know how to bring the results. What's interesting about the before and after is that if it comes with a testimonial, let me use weight loss as an example, before and after weight loss. Nobody knows what this person was going through before, on the before photo. What was it? Were they depressed? Were they struggling at work? Were they struggling in their marriage? Did they have a sense of hopelessness? And then the after is, now she's confident again. She got a promotion, whatever that is, but nobody knows that story. It just gives you the facts. That's what it does. The before and after gives you facts, but it doesn't give you meaning behind the facts. And that's what a testimonial does. Even if it's just a 5-star review is fantastic. That's facts, 5-star. When there's a strong comment behind it that gives meaning to that 5-star. So today I want to talk about how do we gather that meaning? How can we gather that meaning from our patients, from our clients? Oftentimes they say, you guys are great. And we go, thank you so much. And we're grateful for it. Please write us a review. And they do a 5-star. Loved it. They're great. But it's great to be able to also gather the meaning behind that 5-star. So let's talk about the 3 steps that takes place that you can implement today in your practice, in your clinic, with your teams to be able to gather and ignite the meaning of that strong testimonial, of that strong results with you and your patients. And so the first step is we recap. We recap the experience. We can say something as simple as, oh my gosh, Maggie, I'm so glad that you're here today. As we talked about the journey, I remember when you first came in, my goodness, you were, and then talk about the things that they were before. Here's what's interesting is that oftentimes we've noticed that our patients forget where they were before they saw the great results. They're so used to the great results, they sometimes have forgotten about the pain or the struggle they had. And so when we bring that up, they go, oh, that's right. I was scared, and I was nervous, and I was doubtful, and I was depressed, and so you gather the recap. Okay. So the first step is paint the story of the courtship. You came in, we met you, we talked, we had our consult, we talked about the roadmap. We actually we were debating between doing X, Y, and Z or doing A, B, C. And then we decided to do X, Y, and Z, and we moved forward with that. And so that's step number 1. You recap the courtship of before they saw the results, okay? Where they were, that's the before picture, okay? The second step is that you fulfill on your promises. You fulfill on your agreement. You talk about how that was fulfilled. So you say, and so we decided to do X, Y, and Z. And as you notice, here's what's going on. And we were able to see a difference between this and this. If it's skincare, we saw the improvement of your skin with X, Y, and Z, or we saw the reduction of scarring. If it's weight loss, we saw you lose inches and we saw you lose weight as you gain muscle mass. And you talk about that fulfillment of the promises. What's key, though, as well, is that if there are things that we did not accomplish or there was a struggle in that fulfillment, we bring it up. Don't avoid it. Say, and I know at the beginning it was kind of, we had a miscommunication or confusion on X, Y, and Z, but we got that cleared. We want to bring it up because otherwise you're going to be thinking, yeah, but you guys also did this. But you bring it up as part of the journey. So the fulfilling of the promises is part of the journey. And they go, yeah, and we overcame that. That was funny, but we got it done. And then you talk about the fulfillment of the promises. The reason why it's important that we recap and we do the fulfillment of the promises is because we're taking them back in time. We're reminiscing our relationship. We're enjoying together that experience and reliving that, so that then they can put themselves in the situation that when they give a testimonial, they're giving it as if it's just happened now. And so after you do a recap and you do the fulfilled promises, then you can ask a question for a testimonial. And in fact, the way that we ask a testimonial is not so much saying, can you please give me a testimonial? We say, but how has it been for you? Knowing that, remembering that journey, tell me a little bit about your experience. How has it been for you now that you're here? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, I remember, or this is what I went through. And they were going to share it with you. And that which they're sharing becomes a testimonial. And in fact, we can say, hey, would you mind sharing that exact story? So if somebody else is going through that same journey or a similar journey that you're going through, they'd feel comfortable doing that. And that's where we land, is that's where we harvest a strong testimonial. We harvest a meaningful testimonial. We harvest an emotional testimonial. And so instead of just saying, would you give us a 5-star review, which is important. I'm not saying that we don't do that. Let's do that. In addition to the 5-star review, we can say, we can gather that meaningful testimonial and saying, would you attach that to the review? Would you share that with, is it okay if we share that with somebody else? Can we record it? Can we put that in writing and put it on our website? Would you feel comfortable with that? We ask the permission to do that. But they don't have to now come up with, what am I going to say? They've already drafted that with you. You facilitated that emotional experience for them to be able to now draft a meaningful testimonial. So as you go forward, as you look at your reviews, pay attention. Oftentimes we skip the small ones and we go to the paragraphs. The danger is oftentimes those 1-star reviews or the 3-star reviews or the 2-star reviews, they take the time to explain, and they're like huge paragraphs because they did this, and they share all the details because they're emotional about it. Let's flip that and also do it to our 5-star reviews, that as they share the experience, they also share the details of why they're great. Where do they take it from point A to point B? So that's my invitation to you guys today, is to go ahead and take a look at your 5-star reviews, take a view at your testimonials in general, and can we make them meaningful? Thank you for joining.